Beneath the familiar streets of modern cities, history sleeps quietly, layered and forgotten, waiting to be uncovered. These urban landscapes, bustling with the ceaseless rhythm of cars, trains, and pedestrians, often conceal a story far older than the towering skyscrapers that define them today. Cities as we know them are not merely products of modern planning, they are palimpsests, living testimonies of civilizations that came long before, buried under centuries of construction, reconstruction, and the relentless march of human progress. Every cobblestone, every subway tunnel, and every foundation holds traces of lives lived hundreds, even thousands, of years ago. Yet, to the casual observer, these remnants are invisible, their presence hidden beneath asphalt, concrete, and steel. Take, for example, the city of Rome. Modern Rome is a bustling metropolis filled with cafes, boutiques, and traffic congestion, but directly beneath the feet of its citizens lies the ancient city of Rome, the heart of an empire that once spanned continents. Streets that now echo with the footsteps of commuters once witnessed the triumphs of emperors, the debates of senators, and the daily routines of ordinary Romans. The ruins of temples, public baths, and forums lie intertwined with the foundations of modern buildings, often integrated seamlessly into structures without passers-by ever noticing. Here, the past is not a distant memory but a subterranean layer that continues to shape the city in ways both visible and invisible. Similarly, Mexico City, one of the largest urban centers in the world, stands atop the ruins of Tenochtitlan, the once magnificent capital of the Aztec Empire. When the Spanish conquistadors arrived in the 16th century, they systematically dismantled much of the city, replacing it with their colonial constructions. Yet beneath the plaza, the cathedral, and the streets lies a network of canals, pyramids, and marketplaces that echo the grandeur of a civilization long thought to be lost. Archaeologists working in these spaces uncover treasures, offering glimpses into a society that mastered architecture, agriculture, and governance, all of which now lie hidden beneath centuries of modern development. Istanbul, straddling two continents, offers another remarkable example of this layering of civilizations. Modern Istanbul grew from Byzantium and later Constantinople, cities that bore witness to empires rising and falling over centuries. The streets and squares that people traverse today were once forums of trade, places of political intrigue, and sacred grounds of worship. Excavations beneath the city reveal remnants of ancient aqueducts, palaces, and fortifications that were carefully integrated into subsequent urban developments. Walking through Istanbul is, therefore, not just a journey across space but across time, as the city carries its history literally beneath its surface. This phenomenon is not limited to these iconic cities. London, Paris, Athens, Cairo, and countless other metropolitan centers around the world share the same hidden narrative. The lives of their ancestors continue to exist in the shadows of modern urban life. Every subway extension, road construction project, or renovation has the potential to peel back layers of history that were thought lost. These cities are living archaeological sites, constantly rebuilt, yet preserving fragments of the past in ways that are often invisible to the untrained eye. The buildings and streets we take for granted are, in many cases, just the most recent additions to a story that stretches back centuries. One of the most striking aspects of these layered cities is the way human development seems to almost unconsciously respect the presence of the past. Builders, intentionally or by accident, often incorporated ancient ruins into new structures, creating a dialogue between the old and the new. In Rome, for instance, medieval houses were built using stones from ancient temples. In Istanbul, the foundations of Byzantine churches underpin mosques that dominate the skyline today. In some cases, the layering is purely practical, in others, it carries a symbolic weight, demonstrating a continuum of human habitation and the persistence of cultural memory despite conquest, disaster, and urbanization. The process of modern cities growing atop older ones also highlights the impermanence and fragility of human achievement. Civilizations that once thrived, with bustling markets, grand monuments, and intricate road networks, can vanish almost entirely from visible memory, leaving only fragments preserved underground. Natural disasters, wars, and the inexorable march of time often play a role, yet it is urban development that most commonly seals these pasts beneath layers of soil and stone. In some cases, what lies beneath is astonishingly well preserved, offering archaeologists invaluable insights into architectural techniques, social hierarchies, and cultural practices that would otherwise be lost forever. Yet, despite the destruction and concealment, these buried civilizations exert a subtle influence on the cities above. Street layouts often follow ancient roads. Water systems, tunnels, and foundations may still trace the engineering decisions of long-gone planners. Even the names of streets and districts preserve echoes of the past, linguistic fossils that hint at who once lived there. The past is not entirely silent, it continues to speak, though in ways that require careful listening, patient excavation, and, sometimes, sheer luck to uncover. In this section, our aim is to make the audience acutely aware of this hidden world beneath their feet. By juxtaposing the visible, vibrant life of modern cities with the hidden, layered civilizations below, we create a sense of wonder and curiosity. The narrative emphasizes that history is not only preserved in textbooks or museums but also literally buried under our feet, waiting to reveal its stories to those willing to look deeper. Every city street becomes a portal to another era, and every construction site holds the potential to rewrite what we think we know about human civilization. As we transition to the next section, we leave viewers with a sense of anticipation. The hidden ruins beneath cities are not merely relics, they are active storytellers of human ambition, creativity, and survival. We are about to meet the forgotten civilizations, not in history books, but through the extraordinary chance encounters and discoveries that bring them to light, often by accident, beneath the world we take for granted every day. History often emerges not through careful planning, but by accident. The hidden remnants of long-lost civilizations have a way of revealing themselves in the most unexpected moments, catching humanity off guard and rewriting what we thought we knew about the past. Construction crews digging foundations for new buildings, subway engineers extending underground tunnels, and even farmers tilling the soil have stumbled upon evidence of worlds thought to be lost forever. These discoveries are rarely neat or predictable, they are often chaotic, surprising, and sometimes even dangerous, yet they offer a fleeting glimpse into the lives of people who vanished from memory centuries or even millennia ago. One of the most famous examples of such accidental discovery is the unearthing of Pompeii in Italy. For years, the city lay buried beneath layers of volcanic ash, hidden from the world since the catastrophic eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD. It was not until laborers digging in the region stumbled upon walls and mosaics that archaeologists realized the immense treasure lying beneath their feet. Pompeii's accidental rediscovery provided an unprecedented snapshot of Roman life frozen in time: frescoes, household items, streets, and even the preserved shapes of human bodies offered vivid insights into the daily existence of an entire civilization. What was once considered a mythic tale of sudden destruction became a tangible, almost cinematic reality. Similarly, beneath the bustling streets of Cairo, countless discoveries have occurred purely by chance. Ancient tombs, temples, and buried settlements have emerged unexpectedly during modern construction projects, revealing civilizations that predate even the most famous pharaohs. Workers laying sewer lines or expanding roads often uncover sarcophagi, inscriptions, or hidden chambers. Each accidental find ignites a race among archaeologists to study, document, and protect what has been revealed before it is damaged or lost. These encounters illustrate how fragile history can be and how much of the past remains hidden, lying dormant beneath the city's modern veneer. Accidental discoveries are not confined to monumental ruins or ancient cities. Even seemingly ordinary objects can trigger revelations about lost civilizations. In urban Mexico City, for instance, construction crews routinely uncover fragments of the Aztec capital, Tenochtitlan, beneath streets and plazas. Temples, ceremonial platforms, and intricate stone carvings emerge alongside modern infrastructure, reminding the city's inhabitants that their daily lives rest upon a foundation of history far older than they realize. A simple excavation site can reveal sacred artifacts or human remains, each item contributing to a richer, more complex understanding of a civilization that was thought erased by conquest and colonial development. In other cases, discoveries occur in places where the very presence of people seems unlikely. Hidden tunnels beneath Istanbul were uncovered during renovations, revealing Byzantine passageways that had survived centuries of neglect. These tunnels, once integral to the city's defensive and commercial systems, remained untouched for centuries, isolated beneath the chaos of urban growth. When modern workers accidentally break through a concealed wall or stumble upon a centuries-old doorway, the past resurfaces, almost as if demanding acknowledgement. Such moments remind us that ancient civilizations were not entirely erased, they were simply hidden, lying beneath layers of earth, stone, and human activity, waiting for a chance to be seen again. Sometimes, the most extraordinary discoveries emerge from mundane tasks. In London, construction workers expanding the city's underground railway system occasionally encounter Roman artifacts, including coins, pottery, and even remnants of entire streets. The city itself is a layered tapestry of history, and the simple act of digging a hole can reveal astonishing details about life nearly 2,000 years ago. Each fragment uncovered by accident serves as a portal to the past, allowing historians and archaeologists to reconstruct forgotten moments and experiences with remarkable clarity. The unplanned nature of these finds adds an element of serendipity, reminding us that history often waits for the curious and the observant, rather than being fully controlled by human intention. Accidental discoveries also highlight the limits of human knowledge. No map, record, or blueprint can fully account for the civilizations that came before. Entire cities, tunnels, and sacred spaces can remain hidden beneath layers of earth for centuries, undisturbed and unknown. These sudden revelations challenge our assumptions about history, forcing scholars to rethink what they believed was settled knowledge. In some cases, previously unknown civilizations or subcultures are brought to light, suggesting that the world was far more complex, interconnected, and advanced than conventional histories often suggest. Each unplanned excavation is a reminder that the past is not fixed, it is dynamic, capable of surprising us at any moment. The human reaction to these discoveries is often one of awe and disbelief. Archaeologists, historians, and local residents alike are captivated by the accidental unearthing of the past. There is a profound fascination in seeing something so ancient resurface unexpectedly, bridging the gap between time periods separated by centuries or even millennia. The accidental nature of these finds adds drama and intrigue to the narrative of history. Unlike carefully curated museum exhibits, these discoveries are raw, authentic, and often chaotic, giving the impression of history speaking directly from the earth itself. As we consider these stories, it becomes clear that accidental discoveries are not just random events, they are gateways to understanding the civilizations that came before us. They demonstrate how modern cities, no matter how advanced or developed, are literally built upon the foundations of the past. The chance encounters between the old and the new reveal a hidden dimension of human experience, one that is often ignored but infinitely rich in insight. Through these discoveries, we glimpse the ingenuity, creativity, and resilience of civilizations long thought lost, and we are reminded that history is not only written in books but also buried beneath our feet, waiting to be rediscovered. By the end of this section, viewers should feel a sense of wonder and anticipation. The idea that a routine construction project, a simple excavation, or an accidental stumble could reveal entire civilizations emphasizes that the past is never truly gone. It is waiting, hidden just below the surface, ready to reshape our understanding of history in ways we could never have predicted. The accidental uncovering of lost civilization serves as both a thrill and a warning. History is fragile, but it is never entirely erased, and the world beneath our cities holds stories that continue to astonish, challenge, and inspire. Beneath the streets and buildings of modern cities lie architectural wonders that most people could scarcely imagine. Hidden chambers, labyrinthine tunnels, subterranean temples, and forgotten aqueducts remain preserved beneath the daily bustle of urban life, testaments to the ingenuity and ambition of civilizations long gone. These structures were not simply functional, they were statements of power, artistry, and social organization, meticulously designed to serve the needs of entire communities. Today, many remain hidden from public view, often discovered only by accident or through painstaking excavation, offering a glimpse into the complex lives of those who built them. In ancient Rome, for example, the city's underground network was vast and multifaceted, extending far beyond the famous catacombs. Beneath the surface lie aqueducts that carried water to fountains, baths, and homes, demonstrating sophisticated engineering knowledge. Hidden chambers and passageways once allowed access to temples and public buildings, enabling priests, politicians, and ordinary citizens to navigate the city in ways that were invisible to outsiders. The sheer scale of these subterranean networks suggests a civilization that not only mastered construction but also understood the importance of controlled space, security, and ceremonial grandeur. Walking through these tunnels today, it is easy to feel the weight of history pressing from the walls, as if the voices of those long gone still echo faintly through the corridors. Similarly, beneath the bustling metropolis of Istanbul, layers of the Byzantine and Ottoman empires remain buried under the modern cityscape. Excavations have revealed palaces, cisterns, and fortified walls, some dating back over 1,000 years. The Basilica Cistern, one of the most famous examples, is a sprawling underground reservoir supported by hundreds of massive columns, reflecting both practical engineering and aesthetic sensibilities. These structures were often built with an awareness of both function and form, blending utility with artistry in ways that still awe modern visitors. The cisterns, tunnels, and hidden halls tell stories of political intrigue, religious ceremonies, and urban planning that rival even the most celebrated above-ground landmarks. In Mexico City, the Aztec civilization left behind a complex network of ceremonial platforms, temples, and marketplaces beneath the colonial overlay imposed by the Spanish. These underground structures reveal a society deeply organized around spiritual and social hierarchies. Temples aligned with astronomical events, marketplaces designed for efficient trade, and storage facilities for food and water illustrate a civilization that understood both the practical and symbolic aspects of urban design. When these sites are uncovered, they offer a startling contrast to the modern city above, where cars, buses, and pedestrians move almost obliviously over spaces once considered sacred or politically vital. The juxtaposition of the ancient and the modern creates a sense of awe, highlighting the endurance of human ingenuity through time. Even in cities not traditionally associated with ancient civilizations, remarkable underground architecture exists. In London, archaeologists have uncovered Roman roads, wooden buildings, and stone foundations beneath contemporary streets, illustrating that the city's origins are far older than many realize. Similarly, in Paris, the catacombs reveal an eerie, subterranean city where bones were carefully arranged over centuries, creating both practical storage solutions and a haunting aesthetic. These hidden spaces offer an intimate look at how societies approached life, death, and urban planning, revealing patterns and priorities that continue to influence modern life even if unconsciously. The preservation of these underground structures is often accidental but crucial. Buried beneath layers of soil, debris, and subsequent construction, they have been shielded from natural erosion, human destruction, and the wear of everyday life. In some cases, entire buildings are intact below ground, including walls, staircases, and decorative elements. Murals and carvings may still retain traces of color, offering insight into the artistic practices and religious beliefs of the people who lived there. The hidden nature of these spaces adds a sense of mystery and discovery, allowing archaeologists to encounter history in a form that is less curated and more authentic than many museum displays. Beyond their physical presence, underground structures provide insight into the social, cultural, and political dynamics of past civilizations. Catacombs and tunnels often reflect societal hierarchies, with more elaborate chambers reserved for elites and simpler corridors used by common citizens. Aqueducts and reservoirs indicate the priorities of city planners, showing how essential resources like water were managed and distributed. Temples and ceremonial halls reveal spiritual practices, astronomical knowledge, and the symbolic importance of architecture in shaping communal identity. By studying these spaces, historians and archaeologists can reconstruct not only the physical layout of ancient cities but also the values, beliefs, and daily routines of their inhabitants. The allure of these hidden wonders is also cinematic in nature. Imagine walking through a tunnel lined with columns hundreds of years old, the air heavy with the scent of earth and stone, shadows flickering in the dim light, and the distant echoes of footsteps reminding you that countless others once traversed these same passages. Archaeologists often describe a sense of connection, almost spiritual, as they navigate spaces untouched for centuries. These experiences are not only scientific but deeply human, invoking wonder, curiosity, and respect for the civilizations that came before. The hidden architectural achievements beneath modern cities remind us that human creativity and resilience are enduring qualities. Despite wars, natural disasters, and the relentless expansion of contemporary urban life, these subterranean spaces continue to exist, silently narrating the story of human ingenuity. They serve as a bridge between past and present, showing that history is not static or confined to books and museums. It is layered, dynamic, and sometimes literally beneath our feet. Each stone, each tunnel, and each chamber is a testament to the civilizations that built them and a challenge to modern society to recognize, preserve, and learn from these extraordinary legacies. As we move forward, the stories of these underground wonders encourage us to consider what else might lie hidden, waiting to be revealed. The ingenuity of past architects and builders, combined with the accidents and discoveries of modern life, forms a tapestry of human history that is as complex as it is fascinating. The next step is to explore those mysteries that defy explanation, the structures and artifacts that puzzle experts and ignite speculation, demonstrating that beneath every city, there are secrets that continue to challenge our understanding of the ancient world. Some discoveries beneath our modern cities are not just remarkable, they are inexplicable, defying conventional understanding and challenging the narratives of history that we have long taken for granted. These are the anomalies, the mysteries that make archaeologists, historians, and urban explorers pause in disbelief. They are structures that appear far more advanced than the civilizations known to have built them, artifacts whose purpose is unclear, and inscriptions that resist translation. When such findings emerge from the earth, they spark debate, speculation, and sometimes controversy, forcing us to confront the limits of our knowledge and consider the possibility that the past is far stranger than we imagine. Beneath certain streets of Rome, for example, archaeologists have uncovered tunnels and chambers whose construction demonstrates engineering skills previously thought impossible for their time. Some walls align with astronomical patterns that suggest a sophisticated understanding of the stars, while hidden mechanisms hint at water management systems more advanced than historical records acknowledge. Scholars debate whether these were the work of secret societies, elite engineers, or a forgotten branch of civilization whose skills were never documented. The fact that these structures remained hidden for centuries beneath a city teeming with human activity only adds to the sense of mystery and intrigue. Similarly, in the heart of Istanbul, excavations have revealed stone structures and underground corridors that do not fit neatly into any known historical period. Some chambers bear markings and symbols whose meaning has eluded researchers, while others contain artifacts that appear technologically or artistically ahead of their time. These discoveries raise questions about lost knowledge, undocumented innovation, and the possibility of civilizations whose histories were erased or ignored. The deeper the excavations go, the more it becomes apparent that what lies beneath modern cities may not always conform to the timelines and hierarchies established in textbooks. In Mexico City, archaeologists have unearthed layers of Aztec construction that continue to puzzle researchers. Some structures suggest advanced architectural techniques, with precise alignments and materials engineered to endure earthquakes and environmental stresses that would have destroyed ordinary buildings. Certain ceremonial artifacts defy conventional interpretation, hinting at beliefs, rituals, or technologies that remain largely unknown. These discoveries fuel speculation about how much knowledge has been lost to conquest, colonization, and the relentless transformation of urban landscapes. What we see above ground is only the surface, below lies a world whose depth, sophistication, and complexity continue to challenge modern understanding. Occasionally, discoveries in unexpected locations spark even greater fascination. In London, remnants of Roman infrastructure occasionally emerge with designs that are not only structurally sound but also demonstrate a precision and foresight that rival modern engineering. Some foundations are aligned with celestial events, while certain stone arrangements suggest purposes that are still debated today. In Paris, the catacombs reveal subterranean arrangements of human remains that are both practical and macabrely artistic, raising questions about the rituals, social norms, and symbolism of the societies that created them. These findings invite us to rethink assumptions about ancient priorities, knowledge, and cultural sophistication. Artifacts recovered from these hidden sites often add layers of mystery. Inscriptions carved into stone sometimes feature alphabets or symbols that do not match any known language, while tools or objects suggest capabilities far beyond what contemporary civilizations were thought to possess. Some items appear ritualistic, while others hint at advanced technical knowledge. The questions multiply: who made these objects? For what purpose? Why were they abandoned or hidden? And most importantly, what does this tell us about the broader history of human innovation and civilization? Each discovery challenges the neat timelines and simplified narratives of history, revealing a past that is far messier, more complex, and more enigmatic than commonly portrayed. The very act of uncovering these mysteries adds to their allure. Unlike museum displays curated for public understanding, these discoveries are raw, chaotic, and unpredictable. Walls crumble to reveal hidden rooms, floors give way to tunnels that extend into darkness, and what seemed like an ordinary excavation can suddenly yield objects that are centuries or millennia old. There is a sense of immediacy and intimacy in these moments, a feeling that we are witnessing history as it was never meant to be seen, unmediated by the conventions of storytelling or academic interpretation. The mysteries emerge first, and only later do scholars begin the painstaking process of deciphering, analyzing, and theorizing. These anomalies also highlight the gaps in human knowledge and the fragility of recorded history. For every site that has been discovered, countless others remain hidden, inaccessible, or destroyed by time and human activity. The discoveries that do emerge remind us that what we consider known history is only a fraction of the story. There are entire civilizations, skills, and innovations that may have existed without leaving a trace on the surface, preserved only in underground structures, artifacts, or inscriptions that await rediscovery. Each mystery is a tantalizing hint at what has been lost, forgotten, or deliberately concealed. For viewers, these hidden and unexplained structures serve as a portal into the unknown. They invite us to imagine the ingenuity, ambition, and beliefs of civilizations we may never fully understand. They challenge us to accept that history is not fixed or fully documented but is instead a living, evolving narrative, one that sometimes resurfaces in ways both unexpected and astonishing. The underground world of cities is not merely a series of old ruins, it is a repository of enigmas, holding secrets that defy explanation, offering glimpses of forgotten knowledge, and daring us to question what we think we know about the human past. As we move forward, it becomes clear that these mysteries are more than curiosities, they are critical to understanding the depth and complexity of human civilization. By studying them, we not only uncover the physical achievements of past societies but also engage with the intellectual, spiritual, and cultural challenges that shape their existence. These unexplained structures and artifacts remind us that the world beneath modern cities is alive with stories, secrets, and unanswered questions. Every discovery is an invitation to look deeper, think differently, and consider the possibility that history holds far more than what meets the eye. Beneath the modern cities we traverse every day, the traces of ordinary life from centuries or even millennia ago persist, offering glimpses into the daily routines, social structures, and intimate moments of people long gone. These buried civilizations were not defined solely by their monumental architecture or mysterious artifacts, they were human societies with families, laborers, artisans, traders, and children whose lives were governed by practical needs, social norms, and cultural rituals. By examining what remains beneath the surface, historians and archaeologists can reconstruct aspects of everyday life, allowing us to envision what it might have been like to walk the streets, enter homes, or gather in marketplaces hundreds of years before the modern city above existed. In Rome, for instance, excavations beneath the city reveal houses, kitchens, and shops, each offering insight into the rhythms of daily existence. The preserved remnants of ovens, storage vessels, and water conduits indicate the types of food people prepared, how they stored it, and the communal practices around dining and social interaction. Murals and frescoes on walls, many vibrantly colored despite centuries underground, depict scenes of family life, mythological stories, and local entertainment. Through these artifacts, it is possible to imagine a day in the life of a Roman family, children playing in narrow courtyards, merchants selling wares at bustling street stalls, and neighbors gathering for conversation or ritual observance. The city above may be modern, but beneath it lies the echoes of a society deeply familiar in its human concerns yet strikingly different in its technologies, customs, and worldview. In Mexico City, beneath the Spanish colonial overlay, the remnants of Aztec marketplaces and residential compounds reveal a sophisticated urban culture. Archaeologists have uncovered evidence of specialized trade, with artisans crafting textiles, ceramics, and tools while merchants bartered in structured marketplaces. Temples and ceremonial platforms indicate the integration of religion into daily life, with rituals influencing not just spiritual practices but also commerce, social hierarchy, and even agricultural cycles. Artifacts such as cooking implements, decorative objects, and personal adornments provide a window into the aesthetics, tastes, and domestic habits of the Aztec people. Walking through these excavated areas, one can almost hear the hum of conversation, the clatter of goods being exchanged, and the chants of ritual gatherings, reminders that daily life was vibrant, purposeful, and deeply connected to both community and cosmos. Istanbul offers yet another vivid example of life layered beneath modern streets. Beneath the city that once bore the name Byzantium and later Constantinople, archaeologists have discovered the foundations of homes, bathhouses, and public forums. These structures reveal not only how people lived but also how they interacted, both socially and politically. The baths, for instance, were not only spaces for hygiene but also centers of community engagement, where citizens met, debated, and conducted business. The layout of streets, the positioning of marketplaces, and the construction of residential compounds reflect a society organized around accessibility, trade, and civic participation. By piecing together these elements, researchers can reconstruct the ebb and flow of daily life, understanding how social hierarchies, family dynamics, and cultural norms shaped ordinary existence in ways that still resonate beneath the modern city. Artifacts recovered from these sites, clothing remnants, pottery shards, tools, and jewelry, help flesh out the textures and rhythms of past lives. A finely crafted knife or spindle suggests the labor and skill involved in domestic tasks. Fragments of woven fabrics or jewelry indicate aesthetic values and social status. Even the arrangement of living spaces tells stories: homes with central courtyards, communal cooking areas, and separate sleeping quarters speak to family structures, gender roles, and social hierarchies. These remnants are not static, they are evidence of lives actively lived, of societies that had their own routines, priorities, and forms of expression, now buried yet remarkably preserved beneath modern urban life. The religious and cultural practices of these civilizations were intimately woven into everyday routines. In Pompeii, preserved graffiti on walls hints at humor, social commentary, and political debate, suggesting that ordinary citizens were not merely passive observers of public life but active participants in shaping their communities. In Aztec sites, ritual offerings found in residential and ceremonial contexts reveal a worldview in which the sacred and the mundane were intertwined, and daily activities were infused with spiritual significance. Even in Istanbul, inscriptions and carvings indicate that religious observances, festivals, and processions were central to the rhythm of life, punctuating work and domestic routines with collective experiences of identity and devotion. These buried traces of daily life also illuminate resilience, adaptability, and the universality of human experience. Despite living in different eras and under vastly different technological conditions, the people whose lives are preserved beneath our streets faced challenges familiar to us: securing food and water, maintaining shelter, educating children, navigating social hierarchies, and seeking meaning in their existence. Their solutions: ingenious water systems, organized marketplaces, communal spaces, reflect both practical knowledge and cultural creativity, offering lessons in resourcefulness and human ingenuity that remain relevant today. By exploring the everyday lives of those who inhabited cities long before ours, we gain more than historical knowledge, we gain empathy, connection, and perspective. The modern streets we walk are built on the routines, labor, and aspirations of countless individuals whose names may be lost but whose lives left an indelible mark on the urban fabric. We begin to see history not as an abstract sequence of events or dates but as a living continuum, where ordinary people, extraordinary structures, and cultural practices all converge to shape the human story. As this section closes, viewers are encouraged to appreciate that beneath the urban veneer of contemporary life lies a rich tapestry of human experience. Every artifact, corridor, and excavation site offers insight into daily existence, reminding us that the civilizations buried beneath our cities were populated by real people with real lives, ambitions, and dreams. By understanding these patterns, we can see the modern world in a new light, recognizing that our own routines and structures are part of a long continuum of human ingenuity, creativity, and resilience, echoing across centuries from the underground to the surface. Throughout history, myths and legends have often served as vessels for truths that were too extraordinary, dangerous, or complex to be recorded plainly. Beneath many modern cities, stories passed down through generations hint at the existence of lost civilizations, hidden chambers, and secret passages, blending fact and imagination in ways that challenge our understanding of history. While some myths were created purely for storytelling or moral instruction, others appear to preserve fragments of real events, locations, or societies that have since been buried and forgotten. In this sense, myths are not merely fiction, they are a form of collective memory, a way for human societies to encode knowledge about the past that might otherwise be lost to time. Consider the legend of Atlantis, the sunken civilization described by Plato. For centuries, it was dismissed as pure allegory, a cautionary tale about hubris and the fall of a society. Yet, the idea of an advanced civilization lost beneath water resonates with discoveries around the world of cities submerged by natural disasters, coastal erosion, or tectonic activity. Similarly, in parts of Cappadocia in modern-day Turkey, local folklore speaks of vast underground cities where entire populations once lived to escape invaders. Archaeologists later uncovered precisely such subterranean complexes, complete with living quarters, wells, stables, and ventilation systems, suggesting that myth, in this case, preserved knowledge of historical realities that survived through oral tradition. In Mesoamerica, legends of hidden temples and sacred pyramids echo across centuries. Indigenous stories describe cities that vanished overnight, sacred rituals performed in hidden chambers, and treasures buried to protect them from conquest. Excavations beneath Mexico City have repeatedly confirmed that these myths were not purely symbolic. Aztec and pre-Aztec structures, ceremonial platforms, and intricate carvings exist beneath the modern urban landscape, sometimes uncovered by accident during construction or through meticulous archaeological work. These discoveries demonstrate that myths can act as signposts, guiding contemporary explorers to sites that would otherwise remain hidden beneath centuries of development. Even in Europe, myths of subterranean passages, secret tunnels, and lost royal chambers often hold a kernel of truth. In Paris, legends about hidden corridors beneath the city's streets were long considered fanciful until explorers confirmed the existence of the sprawling catacombs and abandoned quarries that extend for miles beneath the modern metropolis. Similar stories circulate in London, Rome, and other ancient cities, where tales of hidden treasures or forbidden chambers have occasionally led to the discovery of forgotten tunnels, crypts, and architectural marvels. In these instances, myths function as a bridge between imagination and reality, offering clues to structures that have been erased from the visible urban landscape. Religious and spiritual myths also frequently intersect with the hidden history of cities. Sacred texts, oral traditions, and ritual practices often reference places that no longer exist on the surface but were once central to communal life. Temples, shrines, and ceremonial platforms may be described in mythic narratives as sites of divine encounters, miraculous events, or moral instruction. When archaeologists uncover these locations beneath modern cities, the alignment between myth and reality can be startling. The stories provide context for the artifacts and architecture found, revealing not only how people lived but also how they understood their place in the world, their relationship to the divine, and the symbolic significance they assigned to space. Folklore can also encode social and political histories that are otherwise absent from written records. Legends about vanished kingdoms, secret societies, or forbidden knowledge may reflect real historical events, such as invasions, uprisings, or the deliberate erasure of certain cultural achievements. In many cases, myths preserve the memory of a civilization's disappearance in metaphorical terms, recounting its downfall as a moral lesson, a cautionary tale, or a fantastical story, while retaining essential truths about its existence and achievements. By interpreting these myths alongside archaeological evidence, historians can reconstruct narratives that would otherwise be irretrievably lost, allowing hidden civilizations to speak once more. The interplay between myth and archaeology also highlights the human desire to find meaning in what is hidden. When explorers and archaeologists uncover ruins beneath cities, they are often guided by stories, local knowledge, or even dreams inspired by folklore. The anticipation of discovery, fueled by legends passed down through generations, transforms excavation into a journey not only of science but of imagination and intuition. Myths create a sense of possibility, suggesting that beneath ordinary streets and buildings may lie extraordinary histories waiting to be revealed, and that the human past is far more intricate and mysterious than surface appearances suggest. By examining the myths connected to buried civilizations, we gain insight into both the societies that created them and the humans who have sought to preserve their memory. Myths reflect the fears, aspirations, and moral frameworks of their creators, while simultaneously acting as cryptic guides to the physical remnants of history. They remind us that history is rarely straightforward, that knowledge can be encoded in stories as much as in stones, and that the act of discovery often involves interpreting layers of meaning, metaphor, and symbolism as carefully as unearthing the physical remains themselves. Ultimately, the myths surrounding hidden civilizations underscore a fundamental truth: the past is never entirely gone. Even when cities rise, empires fall, and generations pass, stories persist, bridging the gap between memory and reality. These legends, whether fantastical or grounded in fact, invite us to look beneath the surface, to question what we take for granted, and to remain open to the extraordinary discoveries that may lie beneath our feet. They remind us that history is not only preserved in texts and artifacts but also in imagination, narrative, and the human impulse to remember, record, and reinterpret the mysteries of those who came before us. Modern cities are remarkable for their scale, complexity, and constant evolution, yet this very growth often comes into conflict with the remnants of civilizations buried beneath them. Urban development is relentless: skyscrapers rise, roads expand, subways extend deep underground, and infrastructure projects push ever deeper into the earth. While these changes enable modern life to function, they frequently collide with history, posing significant challenges for archaeologists who strive to protect and understand the past. Beneath almost every major city lies a delicate balance between progress and preservation, a tension that shapes both what is discovered and what is lost forever. In Rome, for instance, the construction of new buildings often uncovers ancient ruins. Archaeologists are frequently called to the site of excavation before a foundation is poured or a subway tunnel is extended. Yet the urgency of urban growth often imposes strict time constraints. Builders are under pressure to meet deadlines, developers face financial considerations, and the city cannot halt its expansion indefinitely. In these situations, the work of uncovering history becomes a race against time. Decisions must be made quickly, what can be preserved, what can be documented, and what must be recorded and then sacrificed to accommodate the demands of a modern metropolis. Each choice carries profound consequences for the collective understanding of the past. In Mexico City, the situation is even more pronounced. The city is literally built atop the ruins of Tenochtitlan, the Aztec capital, and excavation projects often unearth temples, ceremonial platforms, and residential complexes buried under centuries of Spanish colonial construction. When construction crews accidentally stumble upon these discoveries, archaeologists must navigate a complex landscape of politics, bureaucracy, and public interest. Excavating entire structures is a slow, delicate process, yet the need for housing, roads, and commercial buildings continues unabated. The result is a constant negotiation between the preservation of heritage and the practical demands of urban life. Some ruins are carefully incorporated into modern designs, while others are documented and then reburied to allow construction to proceed, a compromise that leaves a tension between history and progress ever present. Istanbul presents another dramatic example of this struggle. Beneath the sprawling city lie Byzantine walls, palaces, churches, and underground cisterns. Urban expansion repeatedly collides with these ancient structures, forcing developers and archaeologists into direct negotiation. In some cases, the authorities impose strict preservation measures, protecting sites while allowing limited construction nearby. In others, the pace of modern life demands that excavation be curtailed, resulting in partial documentation or selective preservation. Every new construction project is a potential site of historical significance, meaning that development is never purely a practical matter, it is entwined with layers of cultural, historical, and political responsibility. Modern Istanbul is, in essence, built on a foundation of negotiation between what was and what must be. Legal frameworks and ethical considerations play a major role in mediating these conflicts. Cities like London and Paris have established comprehensive regulations requiring archaeologists to be involved in construction projects, ensuring that discoveries are properly documented before development continues. Yet even with laws in place, challenges abound. Excavation is costly, time-consuming, and can significantly delay projects, creating tension between economic imperatives and the cultural value of preservation. Debates frequently arise over whose history should be prioritized, which artifacts merit conservation, and how much modern society is willing to sacrifice in order to protect the past. These debates underscore the fragile and often contentious relationship between modern urban life and buried history. In addition to legal and logistical challenges, urban development presents technical obstacles for preservation. Heavy machinery, deep foundations, and underground infrastructure can damage or destabilize fragile archaeological sites. Even vibrations from trains, subways, or construction can compromise centuries-old walls, tunnels, or mosaics. Archaeologists must therefore employ sophisticated techniques to document and stabilize finds, balancing the need for thorough study with the practical constraints imposed by modern urban engineering. These efforts require collaboration between historians, engineers, and city planners, emphasizing that understanding the past is rarely a solitary endeavor, it is a collective, multidisciplinary pursuit shaped by competing priorities. Despite these challenges, the tension between archaeology and development can also lead to innovation. Modern technology, such as ground-penetrating radar, LiDAR scanning, and 3D modeling, allows archaeologists to map and analyze buried structures without fully excavating them. Cities have begun integrating these techniques into urban planning, allowing developers to work around sites rather than destroying them. In some instances, ruins are preserved in situ, becoming part of modern architecture or public spaces. Metro stations, plazas, and museums now exist above or around ancient structures, allowing the public to engage with history in ways that would have been impossible in earlier eras. In this sense, the conflict between modern life and ancient civilizations can foster creative solutions that benefit both heritage and contemporary society. The struggle also highlights the ephemeral nature of history. Despite careful preservation efforts, some discoveries are inevitably lost, destroyed, or compromised by urban expansion. Every excavation site is a reminder that civilization is fragile and that modern society often builds at the expense of the past. Yet, these conflicts also serve as a powerful motivator for archaeologists, historians, and urban planners to document, study, and protect what remains. They underscore the urgency of understanding our shared heritage before it is buried beneath yet another layer of progress, reminding us that the past is constantly at risk of being forgotten unless deliberate effort is made to preserve it. Ultimately, the interaction between modern development and archaeology is a story of balance, negotiation, and discovery. It illustrates the dynamic nature of cities as both living, evolving spaces and repositories of history. While urban growth threatens buried civilizations, it also provides opportunities for their study, revealing secrets that might otherwise have remained hidden. The tension is a reminder that the history beneath our cities is never entirely separate from the life above. It is entwined with our present choices, our collective memory, and our understanding of who we are. Every construction project, every excavation, and every preservation decision shapes not only the city but the story of humanity itself. As we move to the next section, the audience is prepared to explore the hidden histories of some of the world's most famous cities. Here, urban layers, architectural marvels, and centuries of human activity converge, revealing astonishing discoveries and extraordinary narratives that continue to shape our understanding of civilization. These cities are not merely modern metropolises, they are palimpsests, living records of societies buried, forgotten, and rediscovered beneath the streets we walk every day. Some of the most extraordinary and revealing discoveries lie beneath cities that today seem ordinary, yet each hides an astonishingly rich tapestry of history. In Rome, beneath the bustling piazzas and modern cafes, lies a network of ancient streets, forums, and villas that tell stories of political intrigue, public life, and private luxury. Archaeologists continue to uncover evidence of homes adorned with intricate mosaics, frescoes, and statuary, revealing not only the aesthetic tastes of the Roman elite but also the rhythms of everyday life. Pottery, tools, coins, and even discarded personal items offer intimate glimpses into the lives of ordinary citizens, merchants, and slaves who lived alongside senators and patricians. Walking the modern streets of Rome without knowing the secrets below is like reading only the last chapter of an epic story. Beneath the surface, the full narrative of a civilization is preserved, waiting to be discovered. In Istanbul, the convergence of empires has created a city layered with complexity. Beneath the Hagia Sophia, the Topkapi Palace, and the bustling Grand Bazaar, archaeologists have uncovered Byzantine churches, Roman fortifications, and even earlier civilizations' foundations. The city's underground cisterns, some stretching for hundreds of meters, reflect the advanced engineering skills of past civilizations, designed to supply water reliably to a growing urban population. Excavations in these spaces reveal mosaics, carvings, and inscriptions that hint at the religious, cultural, and political life of the people who once inhabited them. Beyond their functional purpose, these structures are a testament to ingenuity, craftsmanship, and foresight, reflecting societies that were able to thrive in urban complexity while mastering both the natural and built environment. Mexico City offers one of the most vivid examples of a hidden civilization beneath a modern metropolis. The Aztec capital of Tenochtitlan was a marvel of urban planning, featuring temples, ceremonial platforms, marketplaces, and canals that rival the infrastructure of any contemporary city. When the Spanish arrived, they sought to erase this civilization, yet much of it survived beneath layers of colonial construction. Modern excavations have revealed massive pyramids, intricate carvings, and artifacts that illuminate daily, religious, and political life. Even streets, plazas, and building foundations align with astronomical and ceremonial principles, showing that the Aztecs designed their city with both practicality and cosmic order in mind. Each discovery beneath Mexico City serves as a reminder that urban landscapes are more than buildings and roads, they are palimpsests of history, culture, and human ingenuity. In London, layers of Roman and medieval history lie beneath the contemporary streets. Archaeologists regularly uncover ancient roads, wooden structures, pottery, and coins, each adding detail to the understanding of Britain's past. Some finds reveal the organization of Roman settlements, including homes, workshops, and civic spaces, while others provide evidence of everyday life, from the food consumed to the trade conducted. The discovery of mosaics, carved stones, and public buildings beneath the modern city underscores how centuries of urban development were built atop earlier civilizations, each layer telling a story of adaptation, continuity, and transformation. The city becomes a living museum, with every construction project and excavation offering a chance to rewrite parts of history that had been hidden for centuries. Paris, famously known for its catacombs, presents another extraordinary example of a city built over centuries of history. While the catacombs were initially created to address overcrowded cemeteries, they also expose centuries-old quarries, tunnels, and hidden chambers. Beneath the streets, bones were arranged meticulously, creating a macabre yet strikingly artistic underground network. In addition, archaeologists have uncovered medieval streets, marketplaces, and foundations of buildings that offer insight into the social, economic, and religious life of Paris over the centuries. Each layer beneath the city tells a story of growth, destruction, and adaptation, illustrating how urban life continually reshapes itself while preserving traces of past generations. Athens, the cradle of Western civilization, offers a unique view of ancient urban life layered beneath a modern city. Excavations reveal residential neighborhoods, temples, marketplaces, and defensive walls from classical and Hellenistic periods. The streets we walk today often trace the paths of ancient thoroughfares, while beneath them lie entire districts preserved in various states of ruin. Artifacts such as pottery, inscriptions, and tools provide a tangible link to the daily lives of Athenians, from the farmers and artisans to the philosophers and politicians who debated in public squares. Even as modern life pulses above, the underground layers preserve the ingenuity, culture, and complexity of one of history's most influential civilizations. Cairo, a city synonymous with ancient Egypt, demonstrates the depth of history beneath contemporary streets. While the pyramids and temples are visible reminders of the civilization's grandeur, extensive urban development has revealed hidden tombs, settlements, and ceremonial complexes buried beneath the city. Many discoveries were made accidentally, often during construction or infrastructure projects, and have added critical insights into Egyptian urban planning, social organization, and daily life. The contrast between the modern metropolis above and the ancient world below is stark, illustrating how civilization can evolve while preserving echoes of the past within its foundations. Even cities that seem less historically renowned contain hidden treasures. In Istanbul, London, and Rome, discoveries of inscriptions, coins, and artifacts suggest trade networks, cultural exchanges, and everyday practices that shaped civilizations in ways we are only beginning to understand. These finds remind us that history is not static, it exists in layers, waiting for the curious, the patient, and the observant to uncover it. The hidden civilizations beneath modern cities are not merely relics, they are living reminders of human ingenuity, resilience, and creativity, providing a deeper understanding of the complex urban worlds that existed long before contemporary life took hold. As we explore these hidden histories city by city, it becomes clear that urban landscapes are far more than functional spaces. They are repositories of memory, evidence of human innovation, and testaments to civilizations that have shaped the modern world. Each excavation, each artifact, and each hidden structure is a piece of a larger puzzle, offering insight into how our ancestors lived, worked, worshipped, and imagined their world. The cities we take for granted are, in essence, museums of buried civilizations, waiting to reveal their stories to those willing to look beneath the surface. Beneath the streets of some of the world's most iconic cities, archaeologists have unearthed discoveries so rare, so strange, and sometimes so shocking that they challenge everything we thought we knew about ancient civilizations. These findings often defy conventional explanation, raising questions about technology, culture, and human creativity in the past. They are the anomalies, the artifacts, and the structures that hint at stories long forgotten, challenging historians to reconcile the evidence with the existing narrative of human history. From mysterious inscriptions to inexplicable tools, the discoveries beneath modern cities reveal that the past was far more complex, inventive, and sometimes unsettling than we often imagine. In Rome, for instance, recent excavations beneath central districts have uncovered architectural elements that suggest knowledge of advanced engineering beyond what was previously attributed to certain periods of Roman history. Some walls display precise astronomical alignments, while water channels and hidden conduits reveal hydraulic systems that surpass conventional understanding. Beyond technical marvels, archaeologists have also discovered personal artifacts whose purpose remains a mystery. Tools of unknown function, objects with unusual geometric shapes, and intricately carved items hint at activities, practices, or technologies that have no direct comparison in surviving records. These artifacts provoke curiosity and debate, illustrating that even in well-studied civilizations, secrets remain buried beneath layers of history. In Istanbul, underground discoveries have uncovered a combination of functional infrastructure and enigmatic constructions. Hidden chambers, corridors, and rooms contain inscriptions that resist translation, carvings that seem symbolic yet unfamiliar, and structures whose design challenges traditional notions of Byzantine or Ottoman architecture. Some artifacts appear ceremonial, while others suggest sophisticated practical knowledge. The questions raised are compelling. Were these spaces used for religious or political purposes? Did they represent the work of a specialized class of engineers or artisans whose skills were never documented? The answers remain elusive, and the discoveries continue to fuel speculation and scholarly investigation, highlighting how much of the past remains obscured beneath the city we see today. Mexico City continues to astonish archaeologists with its buried treasures. Tenochtitlan, the Aztec capital, was a city of both remarkable engineering and profound ritual significance, and excavations have revealed artifacts that defy easy explanation. Some ceremonial objects demonstrate an extraordinary understanding of metallurgy or stonework, while other artifacts appear intentionally hidden, suggesting a culture deeply invested in secrecy and symbolism. Recently uncovered ritual items, some buried beneath layers of later colonial construction, reveal practices and traditions that were previously unknown. These findings challenge assumptions about the sophistication, spiritual life, and social complexity of the Aztec civilization, demonstrating that even when a city has been ostensibly destroyed or overwritten, its past can resurface in astonishing ways. In London, the unexpected unearthing of Roman artifacts continues to surprise both archaeologists and the public. Foundations of structures, coins, pottery, and even inscriptions often appear in locations where no historical record suggests significant occupation. Some objects hint at ceremonial or symbolic use, while others are technological in nature, revealing knowledge that was either lost or unrecognized in historical accounts. Beyond Rome, medieval layers in London have yielded everyday objects, but also rare finds that provoke new questions about trade, social life, and craftsmanship. Each discovery challenges historians to reconcile the tangible evidence with written records and to consider how much has been lost, obscured, or deliberately hidden over centuries of urban development. Paris, with its catacombs and subterranean network of quarries, provides some of the most visually and intellectually compelling examples of hidden history. The arrangement of bones in the catacombs is both practical and disturbingly artistic, revealing attitudes toward death, ritual, and urban planning that are rarely captured in traditional records. Beyond the catacombs, excavations have revealed forgotten streets, foundations, and artifacts that shed light on medieval Parisian life. Some items are familiar, tools, coins, household objects, but others are startling, such as enigmatic carvings, unusual containers, or objects whose purpose defies classification. These discoveries challenge assumptions about the boundaries between art, utility, and symbolism in historical societies, revealing the ingenuity and complexity of human culture. In Athens, beneath modern streets, archaeologists continue to find artifacts and structures that expand our understanding of classical and Hellenistic life. From intricate pottery and statues to unexpected architectural innovations, these discoveries illuminate aspects of social, religious, and political life that written records alone cannot convey. Occasionally, artifacts appear whose purpose or origin is unclear, raising questions about trade networks, lost techniques, or forgotten rituals. These finds remind us that even in cities with millennia of continuous study, history is not static, it evolves as new evidence emerges, forcing reinterpretation and deeper investigation. The most shocking discoveries are often those that challenge assumptions about technology, artistry, and social organization. Artifacts that appear advanced for their era, structures built with engineering techniques that should have been impossible, and ceremonial objects that resist conventional understanding all highlight the ingenuity and sophistication of past civilizations. These finds also emphasize the limits of historical knowledge, showing that the human story is far more complex than linear narratives often suggest. Every excavation reminds us that the past is not fixed, and that mysteries can resurface unexpectedly, hidden beneath the very streets where modern life proceeds obliviously above. Beyond their intellectual significance, these discoveries evoke a profound emotional response. Imagine walking through a modern city, unaware that just meters below lie chambers where rituals were performed, tools of extraordinary craftsmanship were used, and lives once flourished in a world entirely unlike our own. The sudden uncovering of such spaces is both awe-inspiring and unsettling, highlighting the fragility of history and the persistence of human ingenuity. The artifacts and structures are not just remnants, they are silent witnesses to civilizations that were creative, resourceful, and sometimes incomprehensibly complex. They invite reflection, imagination, and, above all, curiosity about what remains hidden beneath our feet. As we consider these rare and shocking discoveries, it becomes evident that modern cities are not merely contemporary hubs of commerce and culture, they are repositories of human history, filled with secrets waiting to be revealed. Each excavation, each artifact, and each unexpected find provides a connection to the past, offering insight into civilizations whose achievements, beliefs, and lives may have been forgotten but are far from lost. The challenge is to uncover, study, and preserve these remnants while continuing to live above them, reminding us that history exists not only in books or museums but beneath the streets, silently shaping our understanding of who we are and where we come from. Beneath many of the world's greatest cities lie mysteries that continue to baffle archaeologists, historians, and urban explorers alike. Some discoveries are difficult to classify, others seem to defy the technological and cultural capabilities attributed to the civilizations that created them, and a few hint at practices or knowledge that remain entirely unexplained. These enigmatic structures, bizarre artifacts, and hidden chambers often leave researchers with more questions than answers, challenging assumptions about human history and reminding us that beneath the surface of modern life, the past retains secrets that may never be fully understood. In Rome, for instance, archaeologists have uncovered chambers that do not conform to any known purpose. Hidden beneath ordinary streets, these rooms feature unusual architectural arrangements, strange carvings, and objects whose function is unclear. Some chambers appear ceremonial, with geometric patterns that may have had symbolic meaning, while others contain artifacts that defy easy interpretation. Tools, vessels, and fragments of unknown devices have been found in contexts suggesting they were used in ways that are not recorded in historical texts. The more researchers study these spaces, the more the boundaries between fact, theory, and speculation blur, leaving an unsettling sense that ancient civilizations may have possessed knowledge or practices that have been lost to time. Istanbul provides similarly perplexing examples. Beneath the city, a labyrinth of tunnels, chambers, and cisterns has been uncovered, some of which appear to have been designed with purposes that remain mysterious. Certain rooms contain inscriptions or carvings that cannot be definitively translated, while others hold objects that may have been ceremonial or symbolic but whose meaning remains elusive. Some tunnels seem deliberately concealed or designed to confuse, suggesting that secrecy and protection of knowledge were important to the societies that built them. The fact that these structures have survived centuries of urban development only adds to their intrigue, offering a tantalizing glimpse into practices that were hidden, secretive, or perhaps even esoteric. In Mexico City, beneath the ruins of Tenochtitlán, archaeologists have discovered ceremonial chambers, hidden platforms, and artifacts that appear intentionally concealed. Certain items, such as intricately carved figurines, tools with unknown applications, and unusual ceremonial implements, challenge conventional interpretations of Aztec society. The careful concealment of these objects suggests that they held significant symbolic or ritual value, potentially tied to esoteric knowledge or specialized priestly functions. These discoveries reveal that beneath the surface of a bustling modern city, entire layers of spiritual, cultural, and practical life were intentionally hidden, perhaps to preserve sacred knowledge, protect powerful objects, or maintain social hierarchies. London, too, holds its share of unexplained phenomena beneath the streets. Roman and medieval layers reveal artifacts that appear anomalous, from tools and containers of uncertain function to hidden chambers that may have served unknown ceremonial purposes. Some discoveries defy easy classification, leaving archaeologists debating whether they were utilitarian, symbolic, or the remnants of rituals whose details have been lost to history. Urban legends about secret tunnels, forgotten prisons, or hidden meeting spaces sometimes align with these discoveries, suggesting that oral history and myth may preserve fragments of truth about practices or constructions that were deliberately obscured or erased. Paris, with its sprawling catacombs and subterranean network of tunnels, provides some of the most visually compelling examples of hidden mystery. Beyond the meticulously arranged human remains, the city's underground reveals abandoned quarries, hidden rooms, and structures whose original purpose is uncertain. Some spaces were repurposed over centuries, complicating interpretation, while others seem intentionally concealed, suggesting layers of secrecy, ritual, or practical necessity. In these hidden networks, archaeologists have occasionally uncovered objects that defy immediate explanation, tools, carvings, and architectural elements that hint at forgotten techniques, lost traditions, or social practices that remain mysterious. The catacombs and subterranean labyrinths of Paris illustrate that beneath familiar streets lies an entire hidden city, full of enigmas and echoes of human activity long forgotten. Across these cities, a common thread emerges: the presence of knowledge and practices that have been intentionally hidden or forgotten. Whether for protection, secrecy, ritual significance, or political control, societies across history have buried aspects of their culture beneath the streets, leaving future generations to decipher their meaning. Objects found in these spaces often have no contemporary equivalent, defying easy categorization and raising profound questions about the ingenuity, spirituality, and priorities of the civilizations that produced them. Every unexplained artifact, hidden chamber, or labyrinthine tunnel serves as a reminder that history is not linear or entirely known. It is a complex, layered web of creation, destruction, and concealment. The process of discovery itself adds to the intrigue. Excavations are often accidental, triggered by construction projects, infrastructure upgrades, or urban renovations. The sudden unearthing of a previously hidden chamber or a bizarre artifact can upend established historical narratives and force scholars to reconsider assumptions about technology, ritual, and urban life. In some cases, discoveries reveal continuity between different periods, showing how new civilizations built atop or adapted the structures of those before them. In others, they expose deliberate erasure, secrecy, or lost knowledge, emphasizing the fragility and complexity of historical memory. The more we uncover, the more questions emerge, and the deeper the sense of mystery grows. These unexplained phenomena also have a psychological and cultural impact. They inspire curiosity, speculation, and sometimes awe or fear. The idea that beneath ordinary streets lie hidden worlds, strange objects, and forgotten practices captures the imagination, fueling legends, myths, and speculative theories. Yet beyond the sensational, these discoveries provide tangible evidence of human creativity, resourcefulness, and adaptability. They illustrate that civilizations were capable of remarkable technical, architectural, and cultural achievements, many of which remain partially or wholly unexplained. The hidden world beneath modern cities is a reminder that the human story is richer, stranger, and more complex than most of us realize. Ultimately, the unexplained artifacts and hidden chambers beneath modern cities challenge our understanding of the past and our place in the present. They reveal that history is not merely a record of visible achievements but also a shadow world of secrecy, ritual, and lost knowledge. Each discovery invites us to question assumptions, to explore deeper, and to acknowledge that beneath every bustling street, there may be secrets waiting to redefine what we think we know about human civilization. These mysteries are not merely academic curiosities, they are portals into the unknown, beckoning us to imagine, investigate, and ultimately appreciate the extraordinary depth of the human story. Beneath the grandeur of monumental architecture and the intrigue of hidden chambers lies the most compelling story of all, the lives of ordinary people who inhabited these buried civilizations. While temples, palaces, and fortifications often dominate archaeological narratives, it is the daily existence of farmers, artisans, merchants, and families that provides the richest understanding of how societies functioned and evolved. The artifacts, ruins, and traces left behind are not merely historical curiosities, they are windows into the intimate, tangible experiences of those who lived, worked, and dreamed centuries or millennia before the cities we know today were built. By exploring their struggles, routines, and achievements, we connect emotionally with the past, realizing that human experience, at its core, has universal continuity. In Rome, beneath the busy modern streets, archaeologists have uncovered entire residential neighborhoods, workshops, and communal spaces that illuminate ordinary life. Homes often feature courtyards, cooking areas, and storage spaces, revealing the practical considerations of daily living. Pottery fragments, cooking utensils, and simple personal items suggest meals prepared with care, families gathering together, and neighbors interacting in intimate settings. Merchants operated in vibrant markets, while artisans labored in workshops, crafting goods that were essential to urban life. Children played in narrow lanes, unaware of the political and social complexity surrounding them, and slaves performed crucial labor that kept households and public works functioning. These discoveries provide an intimate glimpse into the routines, hierarchies, and interpersonal dynamics that shaped Roman society, demonstrating that even the most extraordinary cities were ultimately composed of ordinary lives. In Mexico City, beneath the layers of Spanish colonial construction, excavations reveal the intricate social fabric of Tenochtitlan, the Aztec capital. Ordinary citizens lived in carefully organized neighborhoods, with homes built around shared courtyards and communal spaces. Artisans produced textiles, pottery, and tools, while traders moved goods along canals and marketplaces. Daily life was interwoven with religious practices, families made offerings, participated in local ceremonies, and adhered to ritual calendars that governed agriculture, trade, and social obligations. Archaeologists have found evidence of meals, clothing, personal adornments, and tools, each piece telling a story of how people adapted to urban life, organized labor, and expressed creativity. Even in a civilization known for monumental architecture and religious spectacle, it was the lives of ordinary citizens that gave the city its pulse and cohesion. Istanbul, built upon layers of Byzantine, Roman, and Ottoman civilizations, similarly preserves the traces of everyday existence. Archaeologists have discovered homes, bathhouses, and shops beneath the modern metropolis, revealing the routines of families and communities. Bathhouses, for instance, were not only centers for hygiene but also spaces for social interaction, gossip, and business. Markets and workshops illustrate the division of labor, the flow of goods, and the entrepreneurial spirit that sustained the city. Homes contain evidence of food preparation, sleeping arrangements, and domestic management, highlighting both the ingenuity and the limitations faced by ordinary citizens. In these spaces, the rhythm of daily life, work, leisure, family, and ritual, becomes tangible, bridging the gap between past and present. London offers a compelling example of the continuity and adaptation of daily life through centuries. Excavations beneath the modern streets reveal Roman and medieval layers, from timber houses to stone foundations, pottery, coins, and tools. Each artifact contributes to a picture of how ordinary people lived, worked, and interacted. Craftsmen honed their skills in small workshops, merchants managed trade networks, and families navigated the social hierarchies imposed by larger political systems. The evidence of domestic life, simple objects like cooking pots, personal adornments, or fragments of clothing, serves as a reminder that the vast sweep of history was built on the efforts, ambitions, and struggles of individuals whose names have largely been lost. These ordinary lives were, paradoxically, extraordinary in their resilience and ingenuity, shaping urban landscapes that remain foundational to modern cities. Paris, with its layers of medieval, Roman, and early modern structures, similarly preserves traces of everyday existence. Streets, homes, and marketplaces reveal how ordinary citizens adapted to dense urban environments, how social life was organized, and how labor and commerce intersected. The underground quarries and catacombs further illuminate the practical and ceremonial aspects of urban life, from the handling of the dead to the repurposing of spaces for industry or storage. Archaeologists have uncovered domestic artifacts, trade goods, tools, and personal items that shed light on daily routines, family structures, and cultural practices. These discoveries emphasize that beneath iconic architecture and historical narratives lie human stories of survival, creativity, and adaptation. Examining the lives of ordinary people in these buried civilizations also highlights human resilience. Families endured harsh environmental conditions, political upheavals, and social hierarchies, yet they found ways to create stability, beauty, and community. Tools and artifacts reveal practical ingenuity, methods of food preparation, clothing production, and housing construction adapted to climate and resources. Rituals, festivals, and daily practices illustrate cultural creativity and the human drive to find meaning and connection, even in the face of adversity. These insights remind us that history is not only shaped by rulers and monumental achievements but also by countless individuals whose daily actions sustained and enriched society. Ultimately, connecting with the ordinary lives of people in these buried civilizations provides a profoundly human perspective on history. It allows us to see beyond the abstraction of dates, battles, and empires to understand how people lived, struggled, celebrated, and imagined. The artifacts and spaces they left behind serve as conduits of empathy, inviting us to step into their world and appreciate the complexity, resilience, and ingenuity of human experience across time. By studying their daily lives, we recognize the universality of human concerns, family, work, community, survival, and creativity, and understand that beneath every modern city lies a human story, waiting to be uncovered and remembered. These stories also deepen our sense of connection to the past. The streets we walk today are layered over centuries of human endeavor, and every excavation, artifact, or hidden structure serves as a reminder that we inhabit a continuum of lives, struggles, and aspirations. By examining the ordinary as well as the extraordinary, we gain a richer understanding of the civilizations that preceded us, appreciating the full spectrum of human experience. In this way, the past beneath our cities is not merely a subject of academic study, it is a living testament to the ingenuity, resilience, and humanity that continues to define us today. As we reach the culmination of this journey into the hidden histories buried beneath modern cities, it becomes clear that what lies beneath our feet is far more than forgotten stone and soil. Every layer tells a story, every artifact preserves a memory, and every hidden chamber offers a connection to human lives long past. From the grandeur of monumental temples and palaces to the intimate traces of daily life, pottery fragments, worn tools, and household objects, the civilizations that preceded us were vibrant, complex, and astonishingly sophisticated. They built, labored, worshipped, and created, often with knowledge, skill, and vision that modern society can only begin to fully comprehend. The cities we inhabit today are not just contemporary constructs, they are living palimpsests, built atop centuries of human endeavor, adaptation, and creativity. One of the most profound lessons these buried civilizations teach us is the continuity and resilience of human life. Despite invasions, natural disasters, political upheavals, and the passage of centuries, fragments of these societies have survived, whispering to us across time. They remind us that history is not linear or static, it is layered, multifaceted, and often hidden in plain sight. Beneath the streets of Rome, Istanbul, Mexico City, London, Paris, Athens, Cairo, and countless other urban centers, entire worlds continue to exist, preserved beneath layers of urban growth and modern life. Each excavation, each artifact, and each hidden structure challenges us to reconsider what we know and to remain open to the possibilities that the past may still hold untold surprises. These discoveries also illuminate the profound interplay between myth and reality. Stories of lost cities, sunken civilizations, secret chambers, and hidden treasures are not merely figments of imagination. In many cases, they encode truths that have persisted through generations. Myths preserved memory when written records were absent, and oral traditions often guided archaeologists to the precise locations of forgotten structures. Atlantis, the subterranean cities of Cappadocia, the hidden temples of Tenochtitlan, these narratives, once considered fantastical, find echoes in the tangible evidence unearthed beneath modern metropolises. This intersection of legend and fact underscores the power of human imagination to preserve history, and it reminds us that what seems hidden or impossible may, in time, be revealed. The lives of ordinary people emerge as perhaps the most compelling thread woven through these discoveries. While monumental architecture and ceremonial artifacts often dominate attention, it is the domestic spaces, workshops, marketplaces, and personal possessions that truly animate the past. Through pottery shards, tools, clothing remnants, and the arrangement of living spaces, we glimpse the daily struggles, routines, and joys of men, women, and children who once inhabited these urban landscapes. Their creativity, resilience, and adaptability resonate with us today, creating a sense of continuity that transcends centuries. By studying these details, we understand that the past was not abstract or distant, it was lived, experienced, and deeply human. The tension between modern development and the preservation of hidden history underscores the fragility of our connection to the past. Cities must grow, economies must thrive, and populations require infrastructure, yet every construction project risks disturbing layers of history that have survived for centuries. The discovery of hidden chambers, ritual objects, and ancient streets often occurs by accident, reminding us that human curiosity, patience, and ingenuity are essential in uncovering what has been concealed. Ground-penetrating technology, LiDAR scanning, and meticulous excavation techniques have enabled archaeologists to recover and preserve fragile traces, offering a bridge between past and present. These efforts emphasize that history is not merely to be studied, it must be actively protected, respected, and integrated into our understanding of the modern world. Beneath the ordinary streets of our cities lies extraordinary insight into human innovation, creativity, and adaptation. Civilizations mastered engineering, urban planning, and resource management, sometimes with techniques that modern scholars still strive to fully comprehend. Water systems, underground passageways, and aligned temples demonstrate not only technical skill but also a deep understanding of society, religion, and the natural world. Even objects whose purpose remains mysterious reveal that human ingenuity often exceeds the assumptions and limits imposed by conventional historical narratives. These discoveries challenge us to approach history with humility, recognizing that knowledge is layered, incomplete, and often hidden beneath the surface of what we see and take for granted. Ultimately, the story of hidden civilizations beneath modern cities is a story of connection across time, culture, and human experience. It reminds us that our lives are intertwined with those who came before, that urban landscapes are not merely functional spaces but repositories of memory, and that every excavation is an opportunity to rediscover the ingenuity, creativity, and resilience of our ancestors. From the grandeur of monumental architecture to the intimate traces of everyday life, the past beneath our cities continues to speak, inviting us to listen, explore, and reflect. Each discovery strengthens our appreciation for human history, challenging us to reconsider what we know and inspiring us to remain curious about what remains hidden. As we conclude this journey, it becomes evident that the buried civilizations beneath our cities are not simply archaeological artifacts, they are mirrors, reflecting our own humanity, resilience, and potential. They reveal the universality of human experience, the persistence of culture and knowledge, and the extraordinary ingenuity that has defined societies across time. The streets we walk every day may conceal temples, homes, workshops, and ritual spaces from civilizations long gone, yet these hidden worlds continue to shape our understanding of who we are and where we come from. In appreciating the past beneath our cities, we gain a deeper sense of connection, responsibility, and wonder, and we are reminded that history is never truly lost. It lies waiting, quietly, beneath the surface, ready to be discovered.